Thank you.
You have a question for me?
Yeah, I got a 05 C15 Acert.
05, okay. What kind of truck?
Pete.
Okay.
12.7.
Stock mufflers?
Straight pipes.
Straight pipes? And engine stock?
475, yeah.
Okay.
Bigger.
Well, I'd leave it at 475 and I'd put a firebox on it. They run really good. The fuel mileage improves well.
What about single turbo?
You can do that. But are you having a problem with the turbos?
No,
How many miles are on it?
just short of 5. Overhaul at 250.
Once for what reason?
The valve keeper left go and
Okay.
dropped the valve. All that kept us cranking the block.
We can single turbo it. But why spend that money now? Why not wait until it needs rebuilt?
That's what I'm looking into.
Yeah,
How much is that whole set?
Well, the whole set's $23.50, but when you're going to take an Acert, an MXS or an NXS, you're going to single turbo it. There's a lot of other things that need to take place.
Okay.
You know, it's a new ECM, new wiring harnesses, new manifold, new turbo, cam positioning sensor. There's a lot of work involved, and we're still working out some of the minor details.
It's not just a matter of bolting on a new turbo.
No.
I just figured your manifold and turbo would do it.
No.
That's what I wanted to know.
No. There's a lot of things to do first. But what I would do is I would enjoy the engine with the firebox on it until it was wore out, and then I'd make that change.
Okay, this is what I did do. Found some wires along the way that got resistors in it.
Yeah?
They said they're comparable like Pittsburgh Power said at 3.
No, they're not.
Don't ask me.
No,
but
they're 40 horsepower.
that could be.
And 3 were on 90
But it
horsepower.
sure brought it along that I threw so much soot. I'd like to
The
clean
reason
that
it
up.
is it's tricking the ECM into thinking that it has turbo boost, and it gives you just a ton of fuel the moment you touch the throttle. And when you get fuel without turbo boost, you get smoke and soot. So what we do is your stock ECM on a stock truck doesn't release fuel until it sees 8 to 10 pounder boost. We start to release fuel at 2 pounds of boost, so we give you enough response to get the load picked up and going, and then once we see 10 pounds, we start to give you a lot more. But at 10 pounds or more, there's no smoke. And that's the trouble with those wires that trick. We don't trick, we just...
But for what it was, to see what it would do, I was happy. I'm willing to do the rest. Now it's just,
Right. But the Acert, the 475 will run very well.
I mean, it brought that, just some wires changed it whole. It reminded me of my pre-emission.
Yeah, we've been very successful with the 475, more so than the 6.25. It seems to live better.
The manifold I got in between the sections, you know, them bands there, they always burn out. So if I'm fighting that all the time,
In between the exhaust manifold? Yeah, but the reason I don't want you to buy a manifold is because you want to convert to a single turbo.
well, that's what I'm just seeing my options.
So when we go to a single turbo, it's a different manifold. Now, it would be hard to sell a manifold on eBay or use to somebody and bring you at least half of your money.
Do if I get the power box, do I need the fuel system?
Now, the fuel system works great on any diesel engine. Caterpillar said diesel fuel is as much as 10% air. The fast system takes the air out, pressurizes your fuel system. Instead of your fuel pump having to suck the fuel out of the tank, it's now being pressurized into the fuel pump. You'll gain 30 to 40 horsepower. You'll gain smoothness and you'll gain response. A friend of mine said, I don't care if I don't gain fuel mileage from the fast. I like all the other things that it does.
Well, that's what I'm looking at.
And you know, the smoother a truck runs, the easier it is on your body. Have you seen our crankshaft balancers?
No, I heard about it.
I'll show you.
But you can have either the power box or the damper balancer without changing. You don't have to have both at the same time.
Right.
But
You know what I'm saying? I just
those will
wanna
help
start
save your
stair
bearings
stepping
and your
up.
seals because they'll take your vibrations out.
Yeah.
If you do one change a month, like what I do if I buy a new Harley, every time I go to another Harley shop, I buy one piece of chrome.
Needs a toy.
Yeah.
Toy needs a toy.
So my chrome comes from all over the United States. Sometimes I'll be, hey, I got that cabinet.
No, that's what I was wondering if it was even worse, like a turbo.
Not yet. Not till.
I mean, even if I have to do it down the road, if it's going to work.
No, it's worth it.
So you got that.
It's worth it to do. And then this is a mercury-filled engine balancer. It works just like the balance masters on your tires and the Centromatics on your tires. There's a piece of mercury in here. When something's out of round, it's flopping. Well, the mercury goes to the light side, compensates, makes the engine, the transmission, and the clutch much smoother.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out where I should start.
Start with the power box, and then do the fastest.
Didn't he add a 500,000 miles though? Didn't you just rebuild a 250 and you're above a 500,000? So you need a damper and a balancer.
Your crankshaft damper is only good for 500,000 miles.